right? Wanted to show you an old feature with a new way of twisted about doing it. So Google has this feature called practice sets, which is now located in resources. A practice set is a set of questions that you can give students to practice, and it has associated YouTube videos that they can watch if they get the question wrong or if they want to learn more about that particular topic. So it's a really cool way to give them a review activity. And it's really now going to be super simple for you to make. So we're going to do a little bit of a cheat here. Before we actually create a practice set here, we're going to come over here to MagicSchool AI, and we're going to use the magic tool called multiple choice assessment. Okay, because that's what a practice set is essentially. So I gave it a prompt and asked it to make me 7th grade causes of the American Revolution questions. I got 20 of them, and it puts the answer key here. That's great. And you may or may not know, though, we can take this 2 steps further, right? So first, we can come over here to export and say we want to make this a Google form. I've already done this, so I'll show you the Google form. It's right here. Okay, so there it is. It marks the questions as correct or incorrect and makes it a quiz, just like a Google form normally would be. And you could give this to the students as a Google form quiz if you want. But now we can come over here to my resources and we can create a new practice set. So we're going to do that. And then we don't have to type the questions in. We just come over here and we click on the plus, or they move the button here. It says import down at the bottom. We just click on import. We tell it which Google form we want to import. So the one I just made using MagicSchool, the causes of the American Revolution. It brings my 10 questions in, and then or 20 questions in this case in. I don't know why it leaves the first one empty, but you can always just delete that question out of there. And then you have your 20 questions. The one thing it doesn't do really well is add in those video resources. You can see that it suggests something about science, but if I type in causes of the American Revolution, I will get some suggestions, and I can select that to attach to this one. If I come down to, there's one about the Stamp Act right here. If I type in Stamp Act, you can see I get some suggested videos about that I can select. And if you want to see what those videos are or trial them ahead of time, you can do that here. You can also, see that one's definitely not correct. You can also click plus and add your own YouTube videos to the practice set. So you still do have to do a little work, but it really takes you from having no questions to instantly getting a group of questions, making them into a Google form, and then bringing them in as a practice set. All right, we just did the mashup of the practice set tool in Google Classroom and MagicSchool and how to quickly get that done. Now we're going to tackle the video activity question. So a video activity question is where you take a YouTube video and insert questions in it that the students can then answer so that you can track to see whether or not they can watch the video, essentially. It's a great way to do a quick flip lesson where you give them a 5 or 10 minute video to watch at night and the next day have a discussion or debate about the topic. Right? So how can we quickly produce one of these video activities in Google Classroom? All right, so all we have to do is click new video activity, and then we're going to paste in the video URL. So here's a crash course in American history one on the causes of the revolution. We'll stick with our same theme. We paste it in here, and Google Classroom finds that video, and now it wants us to add questions to it. That's where it becomes a little bit more cumbersome, and we have to spend a lot of time making questions and putting them at the right place in the video. However, if we come over here to MagicSchool, you can see I searched for YouTube, and there are 2 YouTube tools. One lets you summarize videos, which that's useful for picking the initial video. You could summarize 5 or 10 videos, and rather than having to watch 5 10-minute videos for 50 minutes, you can just zero in on the one you want to watch and only watch the 10 minutes after reading the summaries. But we're going to use the YouTube video question tool over here. We're going to tell it 7th grade because that's what I taught. 5 questions, multiple choice. We're going to paste in that video. And then it will say transcript successfully loaded, which means it can make questions out of it because it has the closed caption. So I'm having it make my 5 7th grade questions. And you'll notice the best part is here's the answer key and the timestamp of when that question should go in the video. So I'm going to come up here and copy that first question. I'm going to come back over here to my Google Classroom and say add a question, multiple choice. I'm going to put it at that 43-second mark that we wanted it to be at. I'm going to click in here and paste it all in. The only iffy thing is it does make us have to copy and paste the answers from the question box down into the answer boxes, but very little we can do about that other than just quickly use Control X on our keyboard to copy and paste them, and then we can clean this up here like that. And if you want to leave the number in, you can, or you can take that out. And then you do have to mark the correct answer in here, and that is this one, the French and Indian War. And now we have our first question ready to save and insert into here. And now we can put our second question in just by clicking add and copying and pasting. So that's how you can quickly make a video activity for your students, and then you can assign it as any other activity in the Google Classroom. This particular one is Tea Taxes in the American Revolution, takes the video name. Okay, so that's how you quickly make a mashup between the new video activity in Google Classroom and the YouTube video question thing in MagicSchool. Google Classroom has a tool called Google Classroom add-ons that allow you to take third-party platforms and incorporate them into Google Classroom without having to leave Google Classroom. So when you click Create and you click Assignment, you'll see a list of add-ons that Shen allows here, and you can scroll up or down in it with your scroll button or use the bar on the side. There are 3 that we've just added we wanted to bring your attention to: WeVideo, Google Arts and Culture, and Adobe Express. The WeVideo and the Adobe Express allow you to add assignments where you'll type in the name and the description of the assignment, and then the students can add a WeVideo directly to the assignment rather than having to save it, export it, and then add it as a file after. Same with the Adobe Express. The Google Arts and Culture actually lets you search their library of museums and exhibits, find content that's pertinent, whether those are pieces of artwork or stories, and then you can attach those stories or pieces of artwork right to that assignment for the students to use, and it jumps them right over directly to Google Arts and Culture. So great resource to use with your kids without having to send them to a separate website to do it. You can do it right from the classroom assignment. Okay, so those are add-ons for Google Classroom. They're over here on the right-hand side, and your list will look a little different than mine, but there's also one for giving formative assessments in there too. All right, the last thing we wanted to make you aware of in Google Classroom is I've started a new classroom for all of you to join if you want. It's called Sharing Instructional Technology. And what I'm posting in there are videos and new tools that we'll be adding at Shen. So you can see here's the one that we just talked about with those Google Classroom add-ons, how to convert a Google form into a practice set, which we also talked about. So we're posting articles there for you. Also in the classwork section, we're attaching in the materials topics like top tips cards for you. So if you're looking for any of our tips cards or videos or help articles on something new that we've learned, you can do that by going to this Google Classroom, and the address for that Google Classroom is going to be right up there on the top. It's bit.ly/ShenIT Classroom, bit.ly/ShenIT Classroom.